The man woke up early in the morning and got ready to go out like he did every single day. He had been feeding street cats for many months now, and it had become a very important part of his daily routine. He grabbed his bag and filled it with different types of cat food that he knew the hungry cats would enjoy eating. When the man reached the area near the garden pots, something different caught his attention right away. Instead of just seeing the usual cats that he came to feed every day, he noticed a mama cat who was sitting very close to some big clay containers that people used for planting flowers and vegetables. But this mama cat was not alone like the other street cats he usually saw. She had tiny kittens with her that were pressed up against her warm body. The man also worried about what would happen to these helpless babies if the weather changed suddenly. Rain could make them cold and wet, strong winds could blow them away from their mother, and hot sun could make them too warm and sick. The area around the garden pots did not provide enough protection for such vulnerable newborn animals who needed to stay safe and comfortable. When the man tried to move closer so he could get a better look at the kittens and see if they appeared to be healthy and strong, the mama cat immediately became very alert and worried. She could sense that a stranger was approaching her babies, and her natural instincts told her that she needed to protect them from any possible threat or danger that might harm them. The mama cat quickly positioned herself directly between the man and her precious kittens. She crouched down low and made herself look as big and threatening as possible. Her whole body became tense and ready to fight if she needed to defend her children. Every time the man took even a small step in their direction, she would crouch down even lower and prepare to spring into action to keep her babies safe. The man could see the fear and worry in the mama cat's behavior, and he felt very sad that she was so scared of him. He understood that she was just being a good mother who wanted to protect her children, but he also knew that he needed to help this family get to a safer place where they could live without so many dangers around them all the time. The man realized that he would need to be very patient and gentle if he wanted to gain the trust of this frightened mother cat. He could not just rush in and grab the kittens because that would make the mama cat panic and possibly hurt herself or her babies while trying to defend them. Instead, he needed to think of a way to show her that he was a friend who wanted to help, not an enemy who wanted to cause harm. After thinking about the situation for a few minutes, the man came up with a plan that he hoped would work to calm down the nervous mama cat. He looked around the area and found a large leaf that was clean and strong enough to hold food without breaking or spilling. He carefully placed some of his best cat treats on the leaf and slowly offered it to the hungry mother cat. The mama cat had not been eating very well since her kittens were born because she had been too busy and worried about keeping them safe to focus on finding food for herself. Taking care of babies requires a lot of energy and strength, and she needed good nutrition to be able to produce enough milk to feed all of her growing kittens properly. When the mama cat smelled the delicious treats that the man was offering to her, her hunger became stronger than her fear. She was still nervous and kept watching the man carefully, but the need for food was too important for her to ignore completely. Very slowly and cautiously, she began to eat the treats while still keeping herself positioned where she could protect her kittens if necessary. While the mama cat was focused on eating the much-needed meal, the man began to work very carefully and quietly so he would not alarm her or make her stop trusting him. He found another clean leaf and used it very gently to block the mama cat's view, just enough so that she would not see him reaching toward her babies and become frightened again. Moving with the softest and most careful touch possible, the man began to lift each tiny kitten one at a time. The babies were so small that they fit easily in his cupped hands, and he could feel how delicate and fragile their little bodies were. He made sure to handle each kitten with the greatest care possible, knowing that even a small mistake could hurt these helpless creatures. As the man was working to make sure that the mama cat had plenty of nutritious food to help her regain her strength and energy, a young boy who had been walking through the area noticed what was happening and decided to come over and see if he could be helpful in some way. The boy had been watching the rescue situation from a distance and had seen something important that the man had not yet discovered. He approached the man politely and explained that while he was observing the rescue, he had noticed more kittens in another location that was not too far away from where they were currently standing. The man was very grateful that the boy had been paying attention and was willing to help with the rescue effort. He asked the boy to show him exactly where these additional kittens were located so that no member of the cat family would be left behind in a dangerous situation. Together, the man and the helpful boy walked to the area where the boy had spotted the other kittens. When they arrived at the location, they discovered that there were indeed more tiny babies who clearly belonged to the same litter as the kittens they had already found near the garden pots. When all the kittens had been gathered together and brought back to where their mother was still eating her meal, it was clear that this was indeed one large family that had somehow become separated and scattered around the garden area. The mama cat seemed much more relaxed and happy when she could see and smell all of her babies close to her again. The mama cat began to check on each of her kittens by licking them gently and making soft purring sounds that showed how relieved and content she felt now that her whole family was reunited. She moved from kitten to kitten, making sure that each one was clean and healthy and had not been hurt during the time they were apart from her. After the mama cat had finished eating all the food that the man had given to her, She looked much stronger and more energetic than she had when he first found her. Good nutrition had helped restore some of her strength, and knowing that all her babies were safe had reduced her stress and anxiety significantly. The man knew that the time had come to make an important decision about this cat family. They absolutely could not continue to live in such a dangerous location where cars, weather, and other threats could harm them at any moment. He needed to move them to his rescue center where they would be completely safe and could receive proper care. The man brought out a sturdy carrier that was large enough to hold the entire cat family comfortably during the journey to safety. He carefully placed all the kittens inside the carrier first, making sure that they had soft blankets to lie on and enough space to move around without being crowded or uncomfortable. As the man began the walk back to his rescue center while carrying the precious cargo of cats, he suddenly heard additional meowing sounds coming from somewhere in the nearby area. His many months of experience doing rescue work had taught him to always pay attention when he heard cats calling for help, because there might be other animals in need that he had not yet discovered. Even though he was eager to get the cat family to safety, the man decided that he needed to investigate these new sounds before continuing his journey home. He followed the meowing carefully and discovered even more kittens that had been separated from the main group and were calling out desperately for their mother and siblings. These additional babies were also very young and appeared to need immediate care and attention. The man gently gathered them up and added them to the carrier with the rest of their family, making sure there was still enough room for everyone to be comfortable and safe during the trip to the rescue center. Finally, with the entire cat family safely contained in the carrier, the man completed his walk to the rescue center where all these homeless animals would find the safety, care, and love they desperately needed and deserved.